Hello， 大家好啊，我係 Dummy。I'm Dummy. Welcome to the art of Kongese by a Dummy. So first of all, Happy Chinese New Year. 祝大家新年快樂。Today we're going to be talking about Chinese New Year. So very lucky today we have a student here. I'll be asking the student a series of questions and he will be answering those questions, and at the end I will give you the correct answer. Hopefully you'll enjoy this episode. Let's start. Question 1. When is Chinese New Year? 每年嘅新年係幾時呢？
I know that Chinese New Year does not have a specific date. It's not like Christmas where it's like on the 25th of every year. It's not like New Year's on the 1st. It is on the Chinese calendar, which shifts in its own magical, amazing way. So all I know is it's either in end of January or somewhere in February, but never outside of these two dates for the most part.
This year, the first day of Chinese New Year falls on the 25th of January 2020 on a Saturday. 今年嘅新年係1月25號2020年星期六。Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year in Hong Kong, we usually go by Chinese New Year, 農曆新年. Literal translation is Lunar Calendar New Year, or for short, 新年, New Year. It is one of the biggest holidays in Hong Kong. Despite the colonial history in Hong Kong for 150 years, Hong Kong mostly kept Chinese New Year traditions intact and very much alive. Now, because Chinese New Year is calculated based on the lunar calendar instead of the Western calendar, Chinese New Year falls on the first day of the lunar calendar every year. 每一年嘅新年係舊曆嘅第一日，年初一。Question 2. Why is red the go-to color in Chinese New Year? 點解新年係用紅色嘅？
I wouldn't say it's necessarily the go-to color. It tends to be the popular color. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that, the history, the Chinese flag is red. So I think it has a lot to do with that. There is some mythological Chinese folklore that will explain this in a beautiful story that is better than what I can come up with.
It's because a long time ago, there's a monster called 年獸, literally translated as year monster or monster of the year, that lives thousands of feet under the deep ocean. Once a year, 年獸 gets to come on shore and devour people and villages. 年獸 is believed to be a sort of chimera of like a lion and like a dragon. It stands on 4 feet with 4 horns protruding its head. It has scales as hard as shields, and people are really afraid of 年獸. And they discovered that 年獸's weaknesses are actually the color of red and loud noises. Since then, people start putting up red banners with lucky sayings at the door or in their houses to ward off 年獸. And same goes for the firecrackers in red. So the color red has since become a symbol of luck for Chinese New Year. Question 3. Can you play with firecrackers in Hong Kong? 喺香港可唔可以放炮仗呢？
Only on one day of the year. It's kind of like what we have 4th of July in the US or like Canada. We're here, we have Canada Day. Or in Netherlands where they go crazy, there is always one day of firecracker usage, but for Chinese New Year, it's that day, not actual New Year.
Unfortunately, if you want to have that kind of experience of playing with firecrackers, you can't do it in Hong Kong. So the closest place without entering mainland China would be in Macau, Oman. You can take a ferry there and it only takes about an hour. Another good thing about going to Macau is that people in Macau also speak Cantonese. Question 4. What do you put in red packets and what are the customs?
The customs vary from different kind of, cultures within the Chinese culture. Like for instance, I know Taiwan, as soon as you make money, you gotta give money. For Hong Kong, it's more so once you become a married couple, you give money to the younger ones that are below your line. Essentially, like if it's your direct cousin, you wouldn't necessarily give money to them, but anyone under them, for sure, 100% you would be giving red pocket, which contains money.
You put money in there, of course. But how much you want to hand out depends on how close you are with the other person. Keep in mind that if it's a very large amount of money, you might be suspicious of bribery. Now, if you're married and your partner is well in the life, you'll need to hand out 2 red packets at the same time. Whereas if you had a divorce or unfortunately your partner isn't around anymore, you only need to hand out 1. If you're single, you just sit here and wait to receive your red packets. Question 5. What is 找銀? Grabbing silver. 咩係找銀呢?
Good question. I have a feeling it has something to do with grabbing the opportunities of life. Essentially, Chinese New Year would be more directly as in like grabbing the wealth of Chinese New Year, hence all the gold and like the red pockets and whatnot. But that's just a guess.
找銀 literally means grabbing silver. It's the act of grabbing food from the year box, 年盒. 年盒 literally translated as year box or box of the year. So when you enter someone's place during Chinese New Year, you may notice that there's a box of candies and snacks and nuts. Don't be shy and not grab anything from the box. It is a symbolic act that people believe will bring you wealth in the upcoming year. And now these are the vocabs that we've talked about today. Finally, I wish you all 新年快樂，步步高升. Happy New Year, getting higher every step of the way. Thanks for watching. See you next time.